A gracious good morning to you. The activity that we're going to be doing today is gathering quotes in preparation for the essay that we're going to write on Macbeth when we're finished. It's better to go ahead and gather the quotes kind of as we go so that we're not struggling later to go back and find evidence through all 5 acts of the play at once. So what is our essay going to be about? Our essay is going to analyze Macbeth's descent into evil. He starts out as this heroic figure ready to die for Scotland, ready to die for his king, and very quickly descends into a murderous tyrant. As we move through the play, we're going to gather evidence of that process, of that journey that he takes. Now, on the assignments, you'll notice that Act 1, Scene 1, that's where it's 3 witches. And there's really nothing there portraying Macbeth either way, just that they're going to meet with Macbeth. So I tell you that. Then I tell you to go to Act 1, Scene 2. Find a passage you can quote that portrays Macbeth as a selfless hero. So I'm telling you what to look for. Now, this one I've given you a quote that you can use. How would we go find that? Well, we would open up the scene, and you have the link in there. We would open up the scene, and we would search for where Macbeth is being spoken about. He's not in this scene. However, he is talked about. Brave Macbeth, well, he deserves that name. This is where he kills or executes the Thane MacDonald, who betrays the Scots. But there's a better one that I like, and that is this one right here. Except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha. That's that biblical reference to the hill upon which Christ was crucified, Golgotha, the hill of the skull. Shakespeare is raising Macbeth to heroic status by comparing him in selflessness and willingness to die for others to the biblical tradition. And so that's the quote that I pulled. You'll notice here, this is my quote. But I've added to it because to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha is not a complete sentence. So I made it a complete sentence by adding to the outside of the quote, the wounded soldier says it seems Macbeth was ready to bathe in his own. These are not in the original text. You can do that if you need to make a sentence. You can insert words into the quote to make the quote make sense in the context of what you're doing. You can't change the meaning of the quote, though. And when you do that, you have to use the square brackets. I'm clarifying here, not changing meaning. And then we go through the rest of the quote. The wounded soldier says it seems Macbeth was ready to bathe in his own reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha. Close quotes. Then my citation doesn't have to say Macbeth or Shakespeare. It does need to say the act and scene number. So Act 1, Scene 2. Then down here you're going to put Act 1, Scene 2. We should already really know that because we have it here. And then I want you to put the line numbers. The line numbers are over on the right. I know you see line numbers on the screen here that you probably don't see on your version for some reason. And then Act 1, Scene 3. Find and quote one passage where Macbeth is tempted by evil in Act 1, Scene 3. So we're going to go to Act 1. We can go that way several different ways. There's a couple of places here that you could pick. Macbeth being tempted by evil. Witches are evil by nature in Shakespeare's world, in the world of Elizabethan England. There are no good witches. They are all allied with the powers of hell. So you could say, stay you imperfect creatures, tell me more. He wants to know more. He wants to know more, even though he realizes that what they're doing is probably not good. And so you could take part of that. You could take, Macbeth is really overcome with sort of amazement when he becomes Thane of Cawdor. And then we go here. Macbeth is talking to himself. He is pondering while the other men are standing off to the other side talking. Then we have this right here.
The supernatural soliciting cannot be ill. It's giving him good news. But they are witches, so it can't really be good either. And so he's asking himself, how can evil witches be giving me something that becomes true and is good? But he also, it enters his mind, if he's going to be king, he's got to kill the current king. He's got to make way for it, because he's related to the king, but he's not in the lineage for kingship. This right here, especially, if good, why do I yield to horrible imaginings, whose murder is yet but fantastical? I'm jumping a little bit there. So you could pull that quote. Now, I've given you basically the information for the third one in this video. You're going to do the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the seventh. The sixth, there's no quotes that you'll have to look for. This is how we're going to complete the quotes for each act, each of the 5 acts. If you have any questions, you can ask me in class or you can email me, and I'll be happy to answer said questions.